Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the July 18th City of Woodland Park City Council meeting. If you would all please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
We have to do roll call.
Well, you know, it's my first one. Sit down.
Okay, I'll do the roll call. So Mayor Jones is absent. Mayor Pro Tem Nakai,
Here.
Councilmember Bryant,
Here.
Councilmember Gear,
Here.
he's joining us remotely. Councilmember Smith,
Yep.
Councilmember DeZellem,
Yep.
and Mayor, you have a quorum. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Now, may we all stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so first item up is ceremonies, presentations, and appointments. 3A, we have a proclamation recognizing July 11th, 2026 as Western Wear Day and celebrating Woodland Park's Western heritage. Heather.
I had told her you would read the proclamation and then and she'd say a couple words. Okay.
Oh, you want me to speak first? Okay. I wasn't sure if you were reading and then I was speaking. We just wanted to say thank you on behalf of America's Mountain Festival, but everybody in Woodland Park for recognizing Saturday, July 11th as Wear Western Day. It's exciting for us to have this event that promotes the Western heritage and spirit. And so we just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so if there's nothing else, I will read the proclamation. Recognizing July 11th, 2026 as Western Wear Day and celebrating Woodland Park's Western heritage and community traditions. Whereas the City Council of the City of Woodland Park recognizes the rich Western heritage that has helped shape the history, culture, character, and identity of our mountain community. And whereas the traditions of ranching, horsemanship, outdoor recreation, self-reliance, hospitality, and stewardship of the land remain important elements of the community's heritage and a way of life. And whereas Western attire has long symbolized the values of hard work, independence, patriotism, and pioneering spirit that continue to define communities throughout the American West. And whereas Woodland Park embraces opportunities to preserve and celebrate its Western heritage through community events, cultural activities, and traditions that bring together residents, businesses, and visitors. And whereas the City Council recognizes the value of fostering traditions that honor the community's Western roots while creating new opportunities for civic engagement, cultural enrichment, and economic vitality for future generations. Now, therefore, the City Council of Woodland Park, Colorado, does hereby proclaim July 11th, 2026 as Western Wear Day in the City of Woodland Park, Colorado, and encourages all residents, businesses, employees, visitors, and community organizations to participate by proudly wearing Western attire and celebrating the traditions and heritage that has helped define Woodland Park. Dated this 18th day of June, 2026.
Great.
Aaron, can we get a picture?
Yep.
We can give it yeah, in purple.
Do you want a picture with the proclamation or just? Yeah.
You can take that if you like. Yeah. Yep.
All right, next we have item 3B, DDA appointments. Monica?
Yes, so the Downtown Development Authority currently has 3 openings. One term expiring June 27th, 2028, one term expiring July 1st, 2028, and one term expiring June 18th, 2029. My office has received 5 applications from Kelly Case, David Hapgood, Linda Saracera, David Maharis, and Deborah Eidelman that City Council will consider appointing. So
Do you want to just do them in the order we received them?
we can, yeah.
Okay.
So David Hapgood actually is not going to be here this evening, and Deb Eidelman might join us online, but I haven't seen her yet. So first we will have Kelly Case come up.
Hey.
Good evening. You all look really good up there.
Yeah, and this is going to sound funny to you on that side. So please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be on the DDA.
Thank you, Catherine, or Mayor, I should say, Mayor Pro Tem. Good evening, staff. Good evening, council, and Honorable Mayor Pro Tem. It's a pleasure to be before you this evening. And I have just, I've submitted my application, and I know it was kind of lengthy, but I've spent a lot of time on staff, was on staff when this organization was defined, when it was developed, and did all of the debt issues and did a lot of work with them. Did all of their accounting for all the years they were in business, if you say. And so I just feel the need now that I'm not on council to find a way to continue to help and contribute with my long-term knowledge with the city. And barring that, I will answer any questions.
Council, any questions?
Sure. Are you that bored?
Steve, you know me better than that. And no, my daughter tells me she's my assistant. My calendar is worse than it was.
Okay.
It just gets better all the time. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Anything else? No? So we'll do like we normally do. We'll speak with everybody and then we'll do the motion.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time.
Okay, then next we have Linda Saracera. Am I saying that right? I don't. The theory.
Hello, I'm so glad that Kelly went first because I would have no idea what to do, and she's a great example. So I'm Linda Cesari. We have two business. Oh, I'll let you ask the question. I won't watch.
So please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be on the DDA.
So Joe and my husband and I own Beer Works now, and we also have a medical clinic called Peak Wellness over in the Woodland Professional Building. So we have a vested interest in wanting to see the downtown develop, and we also collectively have a long history of developing communities and so forth. We lived in Haiti overseas for 10 years and developed the community over there. We've developed small communities in Colorado Springs and various different areas. So it's our passion. We want to see Beer Works move into something that builds more community. I'm not a beer drinker, but I'm definitely a community builder. So we're going to open on Thanksgiving and Christmas and invite people in to have a meal if they don't have a place to go. And same with Christmas boat days, just to invite more people in. We do hear some feedback that community needs to be developed further, and we want to be part of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Council, any questions?
Can you tell me, have you had a chance to attend any of the DDA meetings?
No.
Okay.
You stole my question.
You still, that's by no means a requirement, just
Sure.
point of interest.
Steve, did you have a question?
You stole
Oh, so no other question. Don, did you have one?
it. I just have one. Pressing issues, you have commercial development negotiations in there. What do you mean by that?
I unfortunately cannot answer that. I can answer what a TIF is. I can answer what the DDA does, but I am not super familiar with any thing developing a city formally like this.
Okay, so what is a TIF?
A TIF is a tax increment financing. And the way I understand it, which is probably a little bit skewed, is let's say you have a lot that's undeveloped and it has weeds growing in it or something, and somebody comes along and wants to develop it, maybe make it a restaurant or something like that. And that lot then brings income instead of $1,000 a year for taxes, it brings $10,000 a year. That increment of $9,000 can then go in the future into further development of the city, further developing businesses and beautifying, a community, improving walking places like sidewalks and lighting and all of that stuff. So that's how I understand it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Okay.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Okay, and next we have David Mijares.
Hello, Commissioners. I'm David Mijares, and I'm a local civil engineer in town, currently serving on the board. And just kind of want to, it's getting exciting with the DDA now, with getting through some of the hardships that they've had in the past and moving forward with more longer range planning, more community centered programs that we're kind of looking at now.
Council, any questions?
I guess so. You said that you're a civil engineer, correct?
Correct.
Do you own a business within the DDA?
I do. Catamount Engineering is,
Okay.
I walked here from my office.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
So is Deb online?
Oh, she is, okay. Can you bring her into the meeting, Sean?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, Deb.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good, I'm here. Sorry I couldn't be there in person.
That's okay. You just want to introduce yourself to council?
So,
Sure.
hey, Deb, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be on the DDA?
Sure. So my name is Deborah Eidelman, and I've been a resident of Woodland Park for 30 years. And I've been like to call myself a professional volunteer in many capacities, as well as a business owner here in Woodland Park. So I've got longevity here. I know about the city, about, all the workings of the city. And I've been a volunteer in so many capacities throughout the years and have been asked to be a part of some type of a city position, but it's never been the right time. And I just feel that at this point that this is a good position for me. I'm able to work the meetings into my schedule, and I would just love to give back more to the city of Woodland Park, just like I have done in the past, but in just a different capacity.
Thank you. Council, any questions?
Yeah, I guess I'll ask the same one that I asked David. I know you've got the HomeSmart Realty. You're an agent with them, and also you have the Dream Vacations Travel Agency franchise. Are either of those located within the DDA?
They are not. So I would be joining as a representative of HTN, helping those in need. And that is within the DDA boundaries. And this is a nonprofit, probably the longest standing nonprofit in Woodland Park. And we've been here for over 40 years, have a great reputation, and we own the building right across from Memorial Park. And we would just like to have a say in what's happening in the downtown area.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Steve?
No.
Don?
No.
Okay. All right, thanks, Deb.
You're welcome. Is it okay if I sign off? Because I'm actually at an event.
If you could stay on until we do the oath of office, that would be great.
Okay.
You stay on a few more minutes.
Yeah, it shouldn't
Sure.
be too terribly long.
Okay.
So Monica, really quickly, what were the terms?
June 27th, 2028, one.
Okay,
The next one was July 1st, 2028.
okay,
And the third was June 18th, 2029.
Okay,
So if you appoint all four, I don't know what the fourth term.
that's fine. No, we're just gonna do three.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so council, may I get a motion?
Yeah, do we want to break them up individually or do we
Yeah.
want to do it?
Well, that's up to you guys. Do you want to just pick three or do you want to do them individually?
It would be
I
easier.
think, probably shoot the.
It'd be easier to pick three and do them all
Yeah.
at once and.
That's fine.
That one.
That's not, yeah, that's fine. The only thing when you do that is you have to pick one to have the 2029 term.
Yeah, do we want to have any discussion on that then? Kind of how we want to do that? What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah.
Because
You know-
I think we should start with who are we looking at for the 2029 term?
Yeah, I don't know if necessarily it's system that would kind of naturally place people in different terms.
Mhm.
So I think we do have to nominate for
Mhm.
specific terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay.
so we'll do them individually. So let's do the June 29 first. So if I can get a motion.
Yeah, I would make a motion to appoint Kelly Case for the term that expires June 18th, 2029.
I'll second it.
And real quick, before we vote, what are the other term expirations? I'm sorry.
That's okay. June 28th, 2028 and July 1st, 2028.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. I'm good.
Monica?
Okay. So, Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant.
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Smith,
Yep.
DeZellem.
Yes.
Okay, the motion carries unanimously.
Okay.
And then
so-
now I think we can do the other two together.
Well, yeah, since they're a day apart.
Yeah. Unless you guys disagree.
I mean, at this point, we might as well just do them individually if that's okay. with
Okay.
you.
No, it's fine.
I can make one motion that specifies both of them.
That works. Perfect.
Okay, so I would make a motion to appoint David Miharis to the term expiring July 1st, 2028. And a motion to appoint, oh, I gotta look at your last name here, Linda. Linda Cesare? Cesare, thank you, to the term that expires June 27th, 2028.
Second.
Okay. Bryant,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
DeZellem,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
and the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Thank you, Deb.
You can go ahead and sign off now, Deb. And,
All right. Did you want to do the oath of office?
yep, if you all three would like to come up here to the podium and we'll just do them all together.
First round's on her.
We can do that.
Congratulations.
Okay, you all can raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Kelly Case,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Colorado,
and of the state of Colorado,
the charter and ordinances
the charter and ordinances
of the city of Woodland Park,
of the city of Woodland Park,
faithfully perform the duties
that I will faithfully perform the duties
a member of the Downtown Development Authority
as a member of the Downtown Development Authority,
upon which I am about to enter.
Thank you. Oh, you're sure salt.
I could have waited.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, council. Congratulations, everybody. All right, next, the 3D is the 2025 year-end report, and that would be Aaron.
No, 3C.
Nope, you forgot C.
I just couldn't root for it, sorry. I apologize. I got ahead of myself. Keep Woodland Park Beautiful appointment, Monica.
Yes, so we have an applicant for the Keep Woodland Park Beautiful Committee. It is Evan Snyder, who also serves on the Youth Council. And he is here tonight. Evan, would you like to come up?
Hello.
Hello, Evan. So like everybody else, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and why you want to be on Keep Woodland Park Beautiful?
Yeah, so I've grown up here. I've lived in here or Florissant my entire life, except for when I was 1. I was born in Georgia, but I moved here way before I can remember anything. And something that I've always valued a lot is the natural beauty of Woodland Park. And I mean, that's what attracts tourists and people that live here. And it's like a focal point of what Woodland Park is. And I want to see what I can personally do to help not only preserve that beauty, but make it more accessible and more abundant throughout the city of Woodland Park. And then also a more personal reason is that in a couple of months, I'm leaving for college and I will be majoring in politics with an emphasis in global and environmental policy, and involving myself in local government. Like she mentioned, I'm the chairman of the Youth Advisory Board. Involving myself in that really helps me get a grasp on what it's like to see the processes of politics, even locally. And I think that would benefit me a lot and be a learning experience for me. And it would also be an opportunity for me to see what I can give back to the community.
Great.
Any
Thank you.
questions?
Any questions?
Yeah, I'm really excited to have one of the young people of Woodland Park applying to be on Keep Woodland Park Beautiful. I think it's an important viewpoint for us to have. My question for you is, as a member of our community's youth, would you, as part of, if you're appointed to the Keep Woodland Park Beautiful Committee, would you be comfortable doing outreach to other youths to try and get them involved?
Yeah, definitely. I am excited to do that, actually. I would love to do that.
Fantastic, thank you.
Any other questions?
Can you do it a month and a half before you take off to college?
Well, we'll see. 2 months.
Yeah,
Don?
you'll want to get.
I don't have any questions. I think it's just exciting to see a young person coming forward to volunteer.
Jeff, did you have anything?
No, I think I would echo the sentiments that everyone's already expressed. It's really awesome to see a young person wanting to get involved.
Agreed. All right. So if there's no other questions, council, may I get a motion?
We got the motion to make a motion. I would make a motion to appoint Evan Snyder to the Keep Woodland Park Beautiful Committee.
I'll second.
Okay, Gear,
Yes.
Smith,
Yep.
DeZellem,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Evan Snyder,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the state of Colorado,
and of the state of Colorado,
the charter ordinances,
the charter and ordinances of the city of Woodland Park, and that I will faithfully perform the duties as a member of Keep Woodland Park Beautiful Committee, upon which I'm about to enter. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, council.
All right. Now, 3D, the 2025 year-end report, Aaron.
Thank you for that excitement. I really appreciate it. You made my night. I know.
You have a low bar, Aaron.
I know, yes. I was hoping to bring this to you for the last meeting, but I missed getting it on the agenda, so we're having it tonight. We have the 2025 year-end report. These figures are unaudited, but they are wrapped up. I don't think we'll see any changes from now until we get our finalized audit. All right, so I'll start. I'm going to go through all of our different funds, and then I'll end with our debt service that we have outstanding as a city. And any questions that you have as I'm going through it, feel free to ask, or you can save them to the end, however you'd like to do it. All right, so general fund balance for 2025, we had a beginning fund balance of $5,195,000. We had revenues come in of $12,564,000, which was 81%. And the reason that that was lower was because of the 1.09 tax, which I'll go into in detail in a minute here. Expenditures, we had a total of 13,004,000, which was 78% of our budget total. And then we had an ending fund balance of 4,755,000. Now, there's a caveat with this. We do have the GOCO funding of 523,000 that's still outstanding from GOCO because we were waiting on the National Forest Service. So technically, assuming that we get that by the end of the year, we'll have a fund balance of 5.2 million. So it's a little bit misleading there because we have the additional 500 that we're expecting to receive back very soon. All right. This is a breakdown of all of our different all of our different departments that we have within the city. And you can see the left column there is our 2025 budget. And then the second column in is the actual year-to-date numbers. You can see the percentage expended by department, and then you can see the breakdown from 2024 to 2025, which is the change, and then the percentage there. Any questions specifically? You can see that our total budget was supposed to be 16,732,000. We ended up receiving 13 million, and I think 97% of that difference was the school tax. Otherwise, we were pretty much right in line with the revenues that we projected, and we did receive them. Any questions on that one? All right.
Actually, so
Go ahead.
on the parks, buildings and grounds, we budgeted 2.15 million. We expended 2.5 million.
Yes, so we did have the Bergstrom Park purchase last year of
Okay.
695,000, so that was included there, which
Okay.
increased the budget line.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
All right. Then we move on to revenues. Here's a breakdown of our revenues. 2025 budget is the left column. Second column is the 2025 year to date, and then the percentage received. So we were pretty much in line with property tax, sales tax percentage. You can see we did have a dip in specific ownership by about 70,000 there. We also had an increase in the vehicle use tax. Construction use tax was down, which is not surprising given our water taps and building permits that were issued. So that was all a little bit down. So we came in at 77%, but again, the majority of that was the tax for the school. Otherwise, we were 130,000 off from what we projected to receive in tax. So this will be the only year that we'll see it like this.
Any idea why the ownership tax was down?
Let me go back up. So the specific ownership tax, yes, that was at the state level. We saw a reduction.
Okay.
For the 26 year. It was lower as well. So
okay, gotcha. Thank you.
All right. We saw an increase in our intergovernmental. A lot of it was due to the highway user tax. We had increased traffic in the city from projections from 24 to what we actually saw in 25. So we did see an increase there. So we had about a $60,000 increase from the state. And that line, most cities saw a reduction, but we had a pretty large increase in our traffic counts. All of the other lines were pretty much in line with what we were expecting. All right, we had charges for service. Those came in 97% of budget, which is pretty close to what we'd expect. Interest earnings were a little bit down because we saw some interest rate reductions, which we may see that turn around in the coming months here as we see inflation continuing to rise. But for right now, investment was down a little bit in that fund. And then transfers in was a little bit lower because of our vacancy savings and salaries. Right.
What's the miscellaneous line, Aaron, under investment earnings? What's the miscellaneous?
So miscellaneous is miscellaneous revenues that we receive and then also donations. So we had quite a bit of donations for Avenger, and then we just had other miscellaneous like sale of assets and just other things that don't happen on a year-to-year basis.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right, next we have Culture and Rec Fund. So again, 2025 budget's in the left column, year-to-date is in the column next to it. So our total revenue received year-to-date was 1,616,000. That does include the transfer in for support. So I will go into the next slide and actually show the breakdown for each of the departments. So our total revenue was 1.6 million and our total expenditures was 1,676. The difference there is from fund balance use. Okay, so if we go into the next slide, I break down the cost recovery and the actual performance per department. So for Park and Rec, we had revenues of $112,969. We had expenditures of $546,000, which was a 21% cost recovery. and a general fund subsidy of about 433,000. That pretty much is in line with how we've been doing Park and Rec as a business. It's really a community resource. For the Woodland Aquatic Center, we had revenues of 448,000, expenditures of 985,000 for a cost recovery of 45%. I have let them know that this is completely unacceptable. We will be aiming for 55 to 60% cost recovery this year going forward. We had a general fund subsidy of 537,000 in addition to the $700,000 debt service. So the aquatic center, it's not sustainable at this point. We have to increase revenues or decrease expenses in this department, in my opinion. Cultural Center, we had revenues of 106,000, expenditures of 144,000 for a cost recovery of 74%, with a general fund subsidy of 38,000. I think this is pretty much in line because that is a community facility, but I will take direction from you all if you'd like to see that closer to 100 or if you think that that's in reason.
Was any of that because of them being closed for the?
Part of it, they were closed the first 2 months of the year. Yeah.
No, I think 74% cost recovery for the cultural center is pretty darn good. And how I feel about Parks and Rec in general. Cost recovery on that top line has never really been that important to me specifically. Now that middle line, 45% cost recovery on the aquatic center, especially once you count the debt service, which is listed here. I don't disagree. We either have to cut expenses or increase revenue. 45%, in my opinion, is not where we should be. So I support you on that one.
Yeah, I'd agree. And the cultural center probably is closer to 78% if you weren't closed for 2 months. So
It would have been closer.
yeah.
So I agree, we definitely would see an increased cost recovery on the aquatic center. I think one strategy they should investigate is to align with the school district schedules. So when kids are out of school, they can be in the aquatic center to help generate that revenue. I know just having that building with the heating and the water pumps and everything, we're spending money every day. So the more we can get people in it and using it, I think that's going to help.
Absolutely. Completely agree.
And to kind of piggyback on Seth on that one, Aaron, I really don't, I'm not trying to pile on, but I really don't understand why we continue to have trouble getting that schedule to align. So anything we can do there, I think would make a measurable impact to the cost recovery.
Completely agree. All right, next I'll move on to the 410 or streets fund balance. 2025 year to date, we had a beginning fund balance of 3,043,000. We had revenues of 3.2 million, which was 103% of expected. We had expenditures of 1,567,000, which was less than what we were originally anticipating. So we had an ending fund balance of 4,711,000. When we go through the breakdown here, you can see the different components of our revenues, which were pretty much right in line with what we were expecting. We had some additional transportation capital fees for different projects that were done throughout the city. And then interest earnings were a little bit up in this fund because the balance in the fund balance was a little bit higher than what we had the year before. Because we had done all that work the year before in 2024.
Real quick, I just want to recognize Rob and Kip for the amazing job that they do bringing in projects well under budget.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that means we're attacking as much as we can with that surplus and getting our streets in as good a condition as we can find them.
Yes, we're hoping to do as much as we possibly can while still continuing to grow this fund a little bit so that we can do some of those bigger full reclamation projects as they come up.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we are very excited about that.
Yeah, even though they're under budget, they're not under quality.
Yes. Yeah,
They're keeping the qualities up there, and that's what they're also keeping in mind also, just for the general public that, yeah, we're under budget, well, it must be cheaper quality. No, that's not the case.
No, we're actually doing more projects and just tailoring the scope so that it makes the most sense long-term.
Right.
Yes. All right. Okay, our water utility fund. For 2025, we had a beginning fund balance of 11,485,000. We had revenues of 3.4 million, which was 116%. So revenues were up a little bit there. And then expenditures were 5,696,000, which was 84%. We had an ending fund balance of 9,218,000, and this does include the golf course purchase with the water share. So this is pretty astounding that we were able to continue to keep the fund balance at that level. I think we'll be able to stave off any future debt for at least another year regarding the reservoir. So it's great news. This is a breakdown of the different categories for revenues and expenditures here. Any specific questions? You can see the water rights line is up 2,292% for the year. Otherwise, the budget lines are pretty much what we'd expect them to be. All right, for the wastewater utility 520 fund, we had a beginning fund balance of 8,774,000. Again, revenues were up in this fund as well. We had 3.1 million received at 124% of expected, and expenditures also were below at 2.1 million, 83%, for a total fund balance of 9,700,000. KIP is, I will show you the debt service at the end here, but KIP is exploring whether we should start to prepay some of those debt services in this fund, since he has the fund balance to do it. All right, the DDA Fund 215. Beginning fund balance here of 1,373,000. We had actual revenues received of 1 million, which was 115% of projected. And we had expenditures of 716,000, which was pretty close to full at 96%. This does include those couple of supplementals we had for beautification last year, and also for the match with Bergstrom Park for the master plan. So we had an ending fund balance of 1,723,000. All right, so here's an overview of our debt service. For the general fund, we have the GEO bond on the Aquatic Center. We have 5,815,000 left. For the DDA, we have two different tax increment revenue refunding bonds. One was taken out in 12 and other one in 18 for 1,159,000. So that's the total DDA debt service that they have left. And then wastewater has two different wastewater plant expansions that they did for a total of 5,034,000. All right, any questions I can answer?
Really quick, going back to the 215 fund balance for the DDA, the operating expenditures there, roughly $350,000. Those are the grants and things like that they're funding. Is that correct?
That's their entire budget. So that's everything. The biggest item in their budget is the TIF reimbursements. However, that also included the micro grants. That includes the legal fees, and it includes any of the other administrative items they have.
Okay, thank you.
So that's the majority of it. Now this, in the 26 budget, because they had beautification and the micro grant program, I think it's a little bit bigger than the TIFs when you look at the 26 budget, but for 25, that's the breakdown. All right. If that's all, then that's all I have for you. Thank you.
Jeff, do you have any questions?
No, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, 4, additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda. Monica, do we have any?
I did have a request to switch items 9E and F. I was informed that the Old Fashioned 4th of July liquor license should come before the Symphony Above the Clouds.
Okay. Anybody, do you have any problem with that? All right.
Nope.
So when we get to that, remind me.
Okay.
All right. 5, the consent calendar. Any discussion?
No, I'll make a motion for the approval of the June 4th, 2026 City Council meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay. Smith,
Yep.
DeZellem,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Gear.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, so that takes us to 6, public comment on items not on the agenda. Monica, do we have anybody signed up?
We do have 2 people signed up. Arnie Sparnans is first. Oh, okay. And Ken Brown.
Second.
9A also. Okay.
Okay.
We don't have any.
8. 7, unfinished business. We have none. 8, ordinances on initial posting. 9A, ordinance number 1525, series 2026, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Woodland Park, Colorado, imposing a temporary moratorium on the submission, acceptance, processing, and approval of applications for the establishment of data centers in the city and setting the public hearing for July 16th, 2026, presented by Mr. Wilson.
Mayor and council, this is just first reading and setting the matter for a public hearing. The ordinance at issue provides a moratorium for processing any applications we may have for data centers.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, the moratorium is only for 12 months. Can we amend this to make the moratorium indefinite until such time we decide to change it?
That was my thought as well, Jeff. It doesn't make sense to me to put a artificial timeline on this. And should the climate for data centers change and it becomes feasible to consider one, and if it's good for our community, it would take us 30 days to do this. So I don't see any reason to impose that timeline either.
Jeff, did you want to weigh in?
The law on moratorium is that a moratorium, it has to be reasonably related to the time it takes to develop a regulatory structure. It can't operate as a de facto prohibition. So I suppose one outcome of the moratorium might be a recommendation that they be permanently prohibited. That's another possibility for the review.
With the changing nature or the kind of quickly evolving nature of data centers, in the past 5 years, the scale of these things and how they consume resources has grown beyond what I ever would have expected. And I'm a technology professional. Would 24 months still be a reasonable time frame so we can try and consider, the quickly evolving nature of this? I think it takes a little more time to observe and figure it out.
What you're looking at is what's reasonable to develop a regulatory regime. And I've never done it before. I don't know if it takes 12 months or 24 months. I don't know if like jurisdictions in Virginia have spent a lot of time developing regulatory regimes like this that are pretty much ready for adoption or not. So I'd like to give you a direct answer, Seth, but 24 months might be very reasonable.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we have a chance to get as good of a grasp on what we're regulating before we propose some sort of structure.
And then implicit in it would be that once the regulatory structure is developed, if it's sooner than 24 months, the moratorium could be lifted.
Yeah, of course. It would still just take the two hearings to have that done. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, then I'm okay with going to 24 instead of 12 when we make the motion, because it sounds like we're falling under the spirit of the law.
Yeah. Aaron reminds me, this is something you can also address on second reading. You could wait for the next meeting and do that amendment. Just set it for a hearing tonight if you wish.
Okay.
Your choice. I mean, you can amend it now if you want.
I think I would like to make a motion to have it amended now.
Okay.
And then set the public hearing for the amended ordinance number 1525, series 2026, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Woodland Park, Colorado, imposing a temporary moratorium on the submission, acceptance, processing, and approval of applications for the establishment of data centers in the city, and set the public hearing for July 16th, 2026.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Do we need to be more specific on what we're amending?
No, I think Jeff, I think Jeff understood what we were amending, right?
Okay, gotcha. No worries.
Okay. DeZellem,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Smith.
Yep.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Same time.
Thank you. All right. 9A, public hearings. America's Mountain Festival Special Event Temporary Use, that's a mouthful, temporary use permit. A request by Derek Wagner, applicant, and Tava House Properties LLC property owners for a special event temporary use permit for a musical event for 2,000 attendees to operate before 7 a.m. and after 9 p.m. on July 11th, 2026. Event hours are 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. Setup starts at 5:30 a.m. Cleanup concludes around 11:30 p.m. The subject property is located south and west of Tava House Restaurant, Track B, Woodland Station Number 2, aka 201 Saddle Club Avenue in the Central Business District Zone District. I want to remind everybody this is QJ and Karen.
Good evening, everyone. So to that point, this is a request for a temporary use permit for the America's Mountain Music Festival. It's a special event that will be held here, well, ideally held here in Woodland Park on July 11th. Per our Unified Development Code, City Council is the final review authority on special use permits that operate between 9 p.m. and 7 a.m. or where an application requiring administrative approval is referred to council for review and decision. Council actually reviewed and issued a TUP for this event last year. That was the first year of this event. So the UDC then provides a provision that subsequent requests for the same TUP may be administratively approved if all the temporary use circumstances are substantially unchanged from the original application and no complaints or issues have been received by the city. So we were originally thinking that this was going to be handled administratively, since it was essentially the same request as what had occurred last year. But a complaint was received on May 7th of this year. So that's what triggered the need to have a public hearing and bring this back to City Council. So the application itself was completed on April 9th. We did referrals to all of our usual departments and agencies to get their feedback. And after we had started that whole process, that's when we had received the complaint on May 7th. As a result, we then initiated the public notice process, and per the UDC, signs were posted on the subject property 20 days in advance of tonight's meeting. And then we got a second complaint received in the planning department earlier this week on Tuesday, June 16th. So as is shown in the application and discussed in the staff report, this is considered a rain or shine event. The event site itself is 201 Saddle Club Avenue. And so here on the right, we've got an aerial photograph that shows the distinctive horseshoe of the Highway 24 here in Woodland Park. And then in the center is the event site itself with Bergstrom Park and Tava House Restaurant here at the north end of the red area. For parking spaces, 667 are required. They're providing 675. There's parking spaces on the event site itself. There's a small number associated with the Tava House Restaurant, and then other parking spaces available at Park State Bank and Vector Bank. The bulk of the parking spaces are going to be available at Woodland Park High School. Their setup activities begin on July 8th, and their cleanup will conclude on July 13th. The event itself is July 11th, starting at 5:30 in the morning. There's some setup that begins, and they fully expect to have the site vacated by 11:30 p.m. that evening. The artists are scheduled to perform between 1:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. that day. On that day, noon is the time when general admission entry starts. And they are providing their own security through a private agency, and a special event liquor license is required for this. So here is this year's site plan. It is a bit different from last year, but you can see the Center Ave coming down here in the center of the screen, the Tava House Restaurant, and then this larger square or rectangle here at the bottom is the bulk of the event venue. And it's down here, trying to read the key. The stage is this little orange square down here between the blue and the green area. So that's the stage, and then the audience sits out here in this grassy field. So that's the primary area of the artists, the music, that kind of thing. Up here on the streets, Pine Street on the west, And then Saddle Club Avenue is where you've got vendors and such associated with this particular event. There is review criteria in the code that was looked at. One is the overall site layout. The next was to ensure that site triangles, intersections on street corners and stuff, that there were no obstructions, that the number of parking spaces were provided. And then we looked at compatibility, licensing, and then signage requirements. Staff is believing that all of these can be complied with or will be complied with. And when it comes to compatibility, this is in the Central Business District, which is got a variety, and it mixes a variety of uses in it to start with. So a one day event appeared to be compatible, especially in light of council having issued a permit in a prior year. In reviewing and preparing the PowerPoint, I identified that we actually did have some incorrect dates within the conditions of approval. I've got those highlighted here in these next couple of slides to show you that we caught them and we are getting those corrected. So the recommended conditions, should council wish to actually approve this again this year, is, and there's 20 of them. So the first one is complaints. The applicant shall be immediately responsive to complaints received. The second is insurance, that the city gets provided a copy of a certificate of liability insurance where the city's labeled or identified as an additional insured to the amount specified. And it's to cover all of the days of the event from setup to cleanup, July 8th through 13th. We note that security is the responsibility of the applicant and is being coordinated with the Park Police Department. Any property owner requests, and with this, we're thinking in terms of the off-site parking area, those particular property owners, that the applicant needs to comply with any conditions those property owners may have included with them allowing the use of the property to support this event. Alcohol, just noting that a special event liquor license is required. Traffic control, it sounds like the applicant has got that taken care of through work zone in coordination with the city of Woodland Park. Business licenses, any of the vendors need to make sure that they have the appropriate business license with the city of Woodland Park. Food sales need to comply with Teller County environmental health requirements. Sanitation, this is to ensure that there's adequate numbers of porta-johns and hand washing stations available. The next one is trash, making sure that the applicant provides appropriate bins and keeps all that cleaned up throughout the event, and that the final cleanup is completed by the end of the day on that July 13th. Event hours are noted as being between 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. on July 11th. That's the hours when the festival site's open to patrons. To be a good neighbor, we're asking that notifications be sent out at least 2 weeks prior to adjacent properties and businesses to notify them of any, especially street closure or traffic control operations that may affect them. Sign permits are required for any banners or other temporary signs posted longer than 24 hours. This is a request from the fire chief from last year that all grassy areas used for parking and the event site area be mowed to no more than 4 inches in height prior to parking any vehicles, assembling the stage platform, or any other vendor setup. Tents need to comply with our tent standards for having those set up. Access should not be obstructed to surrounding businesses unless it needs to be consistent with the plan. We don't want, number 17, curbs and sidewalks. The vehicles should not traverse or park on city sidewalks or curbs. For noise, the event shall be at all times subject to municipal code noise except as waived herein. 19 generators are to be turned off by 11:30 p.m. And then 20 lighting for the event shall be downcast and fully shielded. So that's what I have for you this evening.
Council, any questions for staff?
Yeah. Karen, have all criterias been met for this event? We're talking for safety, fire, emergency aspects, everything.
To the best of my knowledge, yes. Because our referrals go out to the fire department, the police department, health department, and we received very few comments back. So they're very much aware of this event and pulling this together. So to the best of my knowledge.
So, but we're not positive.
I don't follow that level of detail, sir. I'm really sorry.
I just questioned just to find out.
Yeah.
If, all the criterias have been met,
It's the same policy and procedures that we follow for all of the other events.
but have they been met? That's my question.
I would give you the same answer for every single event,
Okay.
to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, yeah.
Karen, I heard you say 2 complaints have been received by the city. One in May, I forget the exact date, and one on June 16th.
Yes.
I know council received another complaint on June 11th.
That was the one that was routed to me on the 16th.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm only aware of 2.
Okay, thank you very much.
Dawn, did you have anything?
No, one of the conditions on 19 where it says all generators turned off by 11:30. I'm just concerned with them starting setup at 5:30 in the morning. If somebody cranks on a generator, that might wake up people around the neighborhood.
Was it the same as last year? Was it 5:30 last year as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So we did not have a time limit on generators in the morning previously. The applicant can probably address that a little better. This time of year, it is somewhat daylight at 5:30, so I don't think that's the same issue as it is in the evening after, 9 p.m. to 11:30, in terms of definitely needing generators for lighting at that point. But the applicant can address that in more detail for you.
Jeff, did you have anything?
Not for staff, no.
Okay. Thanks, Karen.
Sure.
Derek, did you want to come up? Thank you.
Everybody,
Hey, do you want to tell us a little bit about the event?
same as last year.
Okay, that
No
works.
changes. Biggest changes just from the outside looking in, our vendor area and vendor space is now open to the public to give our vendors and business owners a little more foot traffic rather than last year you had to have a ticket to get through the gate to even visit just the vendor aspect, let alone the concert. Other changes that we'd had in play is the direction of the stage is going to be pointed a little more to the northwest rather than northwest. Yeah. Just we didn't need quite so much room. Plus we're talking about possibly pulling in one of the artist tour buses on the southern end of the property, which would be between the sound berm and the stage. A lot more vendors, a lot more sponsors. Been overwhelming the amount of sponsors we've got in the community for this event this year. Last year was just sort of to vet that we could do this and pull it off well. As far as the compliance thing, I don't think we violated or anything like that. But yeah, just on comments on the complaints coming in, I just wanted to note there was no specific examples of any violations or documented incidences. Measurable impacts seemed the complaints were more subjective. That's argumentative, but is what it is. Also, I read one of the complaints, the one that came in May, said the organizer responded rudely to said complainant. I never got any complaint. But thanks to one of my team members, they dug up this complaint on Facebook, and it was some banter that went between somebody. They didn't portray themselves as the organizer of the event, which would have been me. So whatever dialogue they had on being treated rudely wasn't me or any of my team in response to said person. Other than that, I was obviously willing to listen. We are neighbors to everybody. The other change too is, last year we immediately sent out invites to the street that borders the property, you know, gave everybody a heads up and notice as well as free tickets to get into the concert. We had already planned on extending that out another couple streets, just to, you know, get the community involved and not make it a costly inclusion in that. But other than that, that's all I've got.
Council, questions for the applicant? Jeff?
I can figure out how to work my mute button. No, not at this time.
Okay, thanks, Dirk.
All right.
Oh, actually, I have one question. Sorry, I apologize. How many tickets have you sold? Okay.
1,000. Again, we're trying to overshoot. I hope for more turnout this year, but it was a first year event. And I was reminded by some people like Karen that I should have expected it. That's okay. I'm an optimist.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so I will now open the public hearing comments. Monica, is there anybody signed up?
Arnie Sparnans.
All right, good evening, Honorable Mayor Pro Tem, council members. My name is Arnie Sparnans, and I live in the city of Woodland Park. And so I also sent my comments in writing too, so there's a little more detail that goes in with that. So, I mean, I want to start by saying it's exciting to see this community event coming together. And looking forward to a successful festival that reflects positively on Woodland Park. So, but do want to note my comments are intended to strengthen the permit conditions so the event can be as safe and focus on safety and as successful as possible. And there's 3 areas I want the council to consider as conditions. There was 4, but one's already been corrected here or changed around the dates. I know, okay. It's so first, emergency planning, and there is a brief little thing included in there talking about what the lightning protocol would be, and it was fairly light on details. And so, this was personal for me because last week my nephew was involved in a lightning incident at a music festival in Wisconsin. Thankfully he was okay, but the situation highlighted how quickly conditions can be dangerous. Become dangerous at large outdoor events. And I think we should be grateful for how successful we've been in the past, but make note of this. And the reason they had a positive outcome was the organizers had a clear emergency plan and were able to execute it quickly. The 2 things that stood out, with that particular event were the attendees had defined evacuation routes out of the venue and designated shelter locations. I would encourage the city to require those same elements here, along with the written severe weather and evacuation plan before the event takes place. And so, like I said, gratefully, he's okay. 5 people mildly injured, but no serious injuries. Second thing is fire prevention. Given that we're currently in stage 2 fire ban, and the fact that the venue and the parking areas are primarily grass fields, I would encourage the city to clarify whether smoking will be prohibited or how smoking areas will be safely managed and enforced. Because outdoor smoking is generally banned in Teller County, except for well-secured areas. Third, just in general public safety, and this is really a credit to the job that our sheriff's department and our police department have done in the past, and we expect that they'll be continuing to be heavily involved, in this event too. Obviously an event that serves alcohol and attracts a large crowd. I think it's important we have a clear plan for law enforcement, medical response, crowd management, and emergency communications. And so it's unclear whether that's been developed or not. But as indicated by the reach outs, there's going to be safety costs incurred with our police department, with the sheriff's department, and maybe with some other first responders. And so those costs should be borne by the organizer rather than local taxpayers. And, that's a common practice. People like to make sure that our police department gets paid and our taxpayers get reimbursed out there. One potential gap when it comes to public safety is, they talk about traffic management, and it wasn't clear whether that included parking limit restrictions on some of the feeding arteries, because if you've traversed some of those roads and know how narrow they are and the big drop-offs without those restrictions out there. So could consider, condition that we have a safety plan out there and with reimbursement criteria for what's expended by the city. And fourth, noise management. One of the complaints clearly was about noise management. There was, I think in outdoor venues in general, we see it with Ford Amphitheater. The venue is immediately adjacent to residential areas on two sides. And so I would encourage the city to consider established Colorado best practices for outdoor concerts, including sound management plans, monitoring, professional oversight, and sound level adjustments when necessary to balance a successful event with neighborhood impacts. And so it was great to hear, the goodwill gesture, organizers offering complimentary tickets to nearby residents. I think that helps mitigate some of those concerns about impact. But I think we're just going to see more and more of this. And I think we need to take a more structured approach to what we do with large outdoor concerts, because we want more.
Thanks, Arnie.
Yep, that's it.
Thanks, Lily.
So looking forward to a good event. So thank you.
Thanks.
We also have Ken Brown signed up.
Hi, Ken, if you could state your name and your municipality, please.
Right. My name is Ken Brown, and I actually live in Woodland West. Been here for 25 years. Mayor Pro Tem and also council members, thanks for giving me an opportunity to address you. And I'm representing the Our Lady of the Woods Catholic Church. One of the concerns that we do have, and I believe I was not in the meeting, I believe it has been addressed, and that is the noise potential problem. What we have requested is that there is a break that would be taken between 4:30 and 5:30. Reason for that is when our mass is on Saturday. And from the understanding that I have, that was something that could be built in without much of a problem. To give you a little bit of background, the Our Lady of the Woods were on 200 Southwest Street. Another thing too is that the Catholic Church has been here for over 60 years also. I'm here, I am the head and the chairman of the Pastoral Council. And then I'm here actually representing, it would be Father Chance Billmeyer also. So that is the only concern that we have. So I did want to ask if I open it to questions, if you had any for me.
No, but we can ask the applicant
Okay,
to address your concern, or staff.
Okay, thank you.
Monica, anybody else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, I will now close the public hearing, and Derek, did you want to come back up? If you don't mind? Did you want to address anything?
Let's see. Yeah, anything for improvement for a smoother project, event, and as far as, especially for safety for guests. Last thing we want is someone to get hurt with something that we could maybe have prevented, or at least taken a proactive approach to helping to prevent. And this project is it's a work in process, try to do it again next year and see if we can't make some more adjustments for a better, get together, if you will. As far as the request from Catholic Church after the event last year, I know we previously, and I noticed it on one of the slides earlier, I had mentioned Lady of the Woods for parking. We had no intention of using their parking this year. What had previously happened the year before, yes, we got permission from Father Chance to use the back lot, and then there was some kind of disagreement between the city and the church, so he wanted to pull my allowance to park in the back for whatever disagreement he was having with the city, which theoretically could have cost me my entire permit and a lot of friggin' money. So he reached out after the event last year, probably last fall, to see if we could work something out. I said, I'm always willing to consider anything, but right now we'll put it on pause, and we haven't had a discussion since.
That's regarding the parking?
Yeah. That was regarding me shutting down from 4:30 to 5:30.
Okay.
Which there was just, for whatever reason, if God was looking out for some reason, we had a lull in the noise in performance last year from 4:30 to 5:30, whenever mass was. That just worked out for the better, but I can't commit to shutting things down. We possibly have a set change at 4:30 or when, I don't even know when it is, on that. But during a set change, we don't really have any music playing or what have you, maybe some announcements on some of our sponsors. But we're contractually obligated with sound production as well as the artists on the timeframes that have been set up.
Okay. Council, any other questions?
Yeah. First, I guess I would like to encourage you to restart that dialogue. I know you said there's been kind of a lull with Our Lady of the Woods, and see if maybe if you can just provide them your schedule. I understand you've got contractual obligations there, but maybe they've got some wiggle room and when they can hold their mass and solve it that way. Something maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if give me a call or something this week, and we can talk to you and show you what we got scheduled, and just see if anything could be done. Yep. Okay.
And then 2 questions. I think Arnie brought up some good points. Right now, Teller County is in a stage 2 fire ban, which means outdoor smoking is not permitted except in a vehicle or
I
building.
don't think we have smoking.
So I just
Yeah.
wanted to check that.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had to look at Heather.
Perfect. So I could have guessed that you guys would have complied with the.
Yeah, I mean, especially fire. I mean, last year, our, charity portion of the event was part of the proceeds went to Netco just for the money that they're struggling with. And thank you to the DDA for helping with their latest truck.
Yeah, so that's great to hear that all files in line. And then the last question I had was around written emergency preparedness plans. Arnie had brought up the example of severe weather and that they had, clear objective guidelines for when certain things would happen. Do you currently have written emergency action plans?
Yes, no,
So if
written emergency as far as evacuation route kind of thing and
or
possible.
if
shelter.
XYZ happens, this is kind of what we do. I know you can't prepare for anything, and I'm not trying to tell you how your event.
We can put something together. That's a simple, but yeah.
Absolutely, please.
So we also have the ticketing system that we use has text messaging and email capabilities. So at any one given time, we can send out messages to all of our constituents who've purchased tickets and stuff too. So if it is something that, I have a lightning alert on my phone because I work at a school, so I always get them. I get them up here too. But, if something were to come of that, we tell everybody what's going on. I mean, it happened last year. We couldn't help the rain. We had a lightning delay. People found cover where they could. People left, people stayed, and we were able to finish the concert. So the answer is yes, we can put something together, but we also have a ticketing system that I can run off my phone that can send messages immediately.
That's great.
As well as in the announcements, through our MCs.
That's
with
great
information.
to hear that you've got multiple avenues of communication to your attendees. I guess my takeaway is I would encourage you to have those clear objectives. If this objective criteria, pardon me, if XYZ happens, this is what we're going to do. I just think that was a good suggestion, and I would encourage you to do so. But thank you. That helps a lot. Your answers are very reassuring.
Also, just real quick on the questions of generators.
Yeah.
We won't have any generators. I don't even think we're starting up setup till 7 this year. This 5:30 was last year's, just taking a wild guess on how to get this project put together. And then the 11:30 is really, I mean, that's really pushing it. And honestly, the location of our generators at that time after the event, nobody's going to hear them. They're out in the middle of the field, not even close to the homes.
Okay.
Pardon?
Yeah, on the light banks. The light banks have generators just so we make sure there's enough light to proper egress, especially in an emergency situation, to get our guests out of there safely.
Jeff, did you have any questions?
Not really any questions per se. I didn't know if we were ready to kind of discuss this or if kind of where we're at.
Okay, let's see. Any other questions from council of the applicant? Thanks again, Derek.
Okay.
Mayor?
Oh, Karen,
If I can
yes.
add something
Sure,
for you.
Sure.
The timeline and such was included in your packets, and it does actually talk about 5:30 to 6:30, some initial traffic control, but I know you don't have nearly the same degree of what you did last year. But just working off of the information provided in the application, that's in there. And then with regard to the show schedule itself, there's a set change from 4 to 4:30. 4:30 to 5:30, there is an artist performing, and then the next set change is scheduled at 5:30 to 6. So that's in the timeline that was provided.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, council discussion?
I mean,
Jeff,
I'll go.
You got,
Yeah.
sounded like you had
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, last year, I voted for this event because, every event deserves certainly an opportunity, I think. But I was astounded by how far away this concert could be heard. Quite frankly, I have a really big issue with disturbing the peace of a community for basically an entire day. And I get not just the complaints that we got officially, but conversations that I had well before the applicant reapplied in April. I have a lot of concerns. I don't think the Woodland Park, we're really interested in becoming a music festival destination. I heard comments that made it suggest that suggested at least that this event may grow. From my perspective, just talking to the community people that I've talked to, I don't think that this is a good fit for the city. It's a suboptimal location in the middle of town. And like I said, I was blown away by how far away people could hear this concert. And so, I take, the quietness of this community very seriously. So I was curious what you guys felt about my thoughts, maybe get some feedback.
Council, any more comments?
Yeah, so I've heard a lot of the same feedback you have, Jeff, about it feels a little loud for, the community and things like that. But given that this is a land use issue, it's very hard for me to deny somebody their right to do with their land, when it's within the code and compliance of the law. And
Understood.
so I think that if the community wants a change around that, then we have to, address that within code.
Understood. Fair enough. No, and that's the collaborative discussion I wanted to have with everyone. Because I don't think you and I are alone in hearing those complaints. So I'm curious, Smitty, what you think, Don, what you think, Catherine, what you think as well.
Well, I'd comment, but it'd be just, repetition and repeating what, you guys have said so far.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and I agree with Seth. And, it is a land use issue and stuff. So they're entitled to use it as long as they're, within the law, so. Right now, they're basically complying. The only comment I would have is I'd really like to see them work out something with the church to make sure that they can hold their service without it being disrupted.
And it sounds like they're gonna try
Yeah.
to do that, so yeah. So,
Can I comment on land use?
no, sorry, Arnie.
Well, I won't mention conditional use.
I just wanted to add that Councilmember Bryant's statement was excellent. That's a
Yes.
statement of the law. At this stage, you're applying the criteria in the law. If you want to change the law in the future and change the criteria, that's certainly your prerogative. But tonight you're working under the existing criteria.
Okay, Jeff, did you have anything else?
No.
Okay, then if nobody else has anything, may I get a motion, please?
The motion man tonight. I will make a motion for the approval of America's Mountain Festival Special Event Temporary Use Permit with the conditions outlined during Karen's presentation.
May I get a second?
I'll second.
You, Karen? Or Monica?
Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Gear,
No.
Smith,
Yeah.
Zellum,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, what are we at? 9B, America's Mountain Festival Special Event Liquor License located at 120 South Center, Woodland Park. And this, Monica, it says you?
Yep. And Deputy City Clerk Sauer is also gonna be at the staff table to answer any questions if we have any come up, since we have so many liquor licenses tonight. Okay, so this first one is a request for a special event liquor license to Restaurant as Mission for the 2026 America's Mountain Festival at the location of 120 South Center Street. The applicant is Chef Victor Matthews. And the organization is a nonprofit organization with the current sales tax number and in good standing with the Secretary of State. I'm not sure, is the applicant present?
No.
Okay.
We don't need, Jeff, we don't need the applicant present to, okay. Council, do you have any comments or questions of staff?
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay, then I will now open the public hearing. Monica, is there anybody signed up?
No. No.
And there's no signed up? Okay, all right, well, then I will close the public hearing. And if there's no more discussion, may I get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to grant a special event liquor license to Restaurants as a Mission for the 2026 America's Mountain Festival at the location of 120 South Center Street, Woodland Park.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Bryant,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
DeZellum,
Yes.
Nakai.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay. All right, before we go to the next one, I forgot I was going to make a comment on 9A. For those concerned, I'm going to suggest in reports this afternoon that council have consensus to have a work session to address some of these concerns that have been brought up this evening. So with that said,
Second.
9C, Game Day Special Event Liquor License located at the Meadowwood Sports Complex Concession Building, 2000 Evergreen Heights Drive, Woodland Park, and Monica.
Yes, so this is another special event liquor license to Game Day Inc., doing business as Game Day Above the Clouds for contracted concession, the contracted concessions provider at Meadowwood Sports Complex. The applicant is Crystal DeFabio on behalf of Game Day and Game Day Above the Clouds. The organization is a nonprofit that is also in good standing with the Secretary of State's office. In your packet is a list of the event dates that they're planning to sell liquor. And is the applicant present? Okay.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Hi, guys.
If you want to just give us a quick overview and.
Yeah, for sure. So game day was kind of born out of a near necessity. There's an amazing snack stand at Meadowood, and it has to be run by a nonprofit. So about a year, almost 2 years ago now, they had lost the nonprofit that was running it. They didn't show the interest anymore. And I can't watch like a building just be shuttered. Like it's so exciting. All of my family plays either softball or baseball. And so I was like, all right, so it's time to start up a nonprofit then. And so I created Game Day, and it bridges a gap between local youth athletes and the money that is basically earned at these events. One of the things that I run is concessions. I was running it tonight. I smell like nachos. I will be running back there. But one of the things that we run it for is adult softball leagues. So I came up with the idea that we could earn even more money on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, only adult softball. There are a couple of Saturdays that I've asked for, and maybe one Friday for the adult softball tournament. So I've got a nice barrier. It's going to be beer garden style. I work nicely with the police department. I've asked, come by, watch a game, see how we're doing. But yeah, I just think it's an additional way to not just bring something that's fun to the park for the adults that are playing, but also help raise some more funds.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Council, do you have any questions?
No, I just want to disclose that I did help the applicant complete this liquor license, so I'll be abstaining from this vote.
Okay, thank you.
Can I make a motion?
Not yet. I have to do public hearing first. Thank you. All right. If there's you're good?
Okay, I'm good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will now open the public hearing. Are there any?
No one present.
No one's
No
present. No one
signed
signed up. Okay, I will now close the public hearing. And now, Mr. Smith, if you would like to make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion on the game day special event liquor license to be presented as read.
May I get a second?
Second.
Jeff got that?
Yes, sir.
I win.
Jeff wins, yes.
Need a noise.
Okay, Gear,
Yes.
Smith,
Yep.
DeZellem,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant.
Abstain.
Oh, you abstained, that's right, abstain. Okay, the motion carries.
Thank you and congratulations. You moved on me. All right, next. Thanks. All right, next up, 9D, the Farmers Market. Farmers Market Special Event Liquor License located at Memorial Park, 200 North Park Street, Woodland Park. Monica.
Yes, so this is another special event liquor license for the Teller County Farmers Market Association, doing business as the 2026 Woodland Park Farmers Market season. The applicant is Amanda Steininger with Teller County Farmers Market Association. It is also a nonprofit organization with a sales tax number in good standing with the Secretary of State. In your packet are 6 separate dates for the beer garden. And is the applicant? She's not here. The applicant is not present.
All right. Anybody have any concerns?
I will be abstaining from this one as well. I helped Amanda with this permit. Emotions, but
Yeah, do we need to change your name, Seth, to Seth Abstain?
All right, if no questions, then I will open the public hearing.
There's no one present.
Great. Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing and may I get a motion, please?
I'll make the motion then. I'll make the motion for the Farmers Market Special Event Liquor License located at Memorial Park as read, especially adding on those extra dates. As amended.
What extra dates?
Oh, that was for Crystal.
That was for Crystal. Yes, you want to redo your motion, please?
Yeah. Motion for the Farmers Market, the special event liquor license located at Memorial Park as read.
All right. May I
I'll
get a
second it.
Thank you.
Second. Okay, and then we have Smith,
Yes.
DeZellem,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
and Bryant is abstaining. And Gear.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. So now we're going to switch and do the old fashioned 9F, which is now 9E, the old fashioned 4th of July special event liquor license located at Memorial Park, 200 North Park Street, Woodland Park. Monica.
Yes, so this is another special event liquor license for the 2026 Old
Care-
Fashioned 4th of July event. The applicant is Gail Gross with SOAR with Network Fundraising, doing business as 2026 Old Fashioned 4th of July. Also a nonprofit organization with the sales tax number in good standing. The event will be held at Memorial Park on Saturday, July 4th from 5:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. And is this applicant present?
No, she's
No,
not.
okay. Oh, you are?
Thank you. Not that we really do, but just for the public's sake, if you wanted to just come up and give a little. Gotta torture you guys.
My name is Peggy Strobel, and I'm one of the nonprofits. I'm with the Woodland Park Lions Club that is putting on this event.
Perfect.
Any questions?
Any questions, Council?
It's going to be a huge event. We have more vendors this year, and it's going to be crazy, but under control.
Thank you, ma'am. Anything? No? No questions?
No.
All right, so I will now open the public hearing.
There's no one present for the public hearing.
All right, I will now close the public hearing and ask for a motion, please.
Well, first, did you sustain for this?
No. They got
So-
this on their own.
I'll make a motion for the approval of the Old Fashioned 4th of July special event liquor license located at Memorial Park, 200 North Park Street, Woodland Park.
Second.
Okay. DeZellem,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, now, F, the Symphony Above the Clouds Special Event Liquor License located at Memorial Park, 200 North Park Street, Woodland Park. Monica.
Yes, so this is a special event liquor license for the 2026 Symphony Above the Clouds. The applicant is David Martinek with the Ute Pass Symphony Guild, doing business as Symphony Above the Clouds 2026. It is a nonprofit organization in good standing with the Secretary of State, and the event will be held on Saturday, July 4th from 3 to 9. And I know the applicant is present because I met him earlier, so. He'd come up.
Hello, just come up and say a few words. Thanks.
Good evening, everybody. I am on the board of the Symphony Guild, and we have applied for a liquor license to provide continued oversight over the alcohol vendors who came to provide libation during the old-fashioned 4th of July. And I want to add that in addition to the wonderful events during the day, the concert that is planned for that night is going to be one special event with recognition of our country's 250th as well as Colorado's 150th. I think it behooves everybody who comes during the day to stay for the night because it's going to be great.
Awesome, thank you. Anything? No, all right. I will now open the public hearing.
No one present.
All right, I will now close the public hearing and ask for a motion, please.
I would make a motion to grant a special event liquor license for the 2026 Symphony Above the Clouds.
And a second?
Second.
Second.
Got salt water in his ears.
Okay, Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
DeZellem.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right. We are now done with special event liquor licenses. On to 9G. No, I didn't. Did I miss one? No. Oh,
No.
you're funny. All right, 9G, Beer Works liquor license transfer located at 121 East Midland Avenue, Woodland Park. Monica.
Yes, so this is a transfer of a brew pub liquor license. The applicant is City Above Operating LLC, doing business as Beer Works located at 121 East Midland Avenue. The applicant is Bailey Cone, and the LLC has a current sales tax license and FEIN number. Petition of needs and desires is not necessary for a transfer of a liquor license, and the location is eligible to be licensed. There's possession of the property is documented by a lease expiring May 14th of 2031. And the applicant is here. If you could come up.
Hey, Joe, do you want to say a few words?
How you doing? Thanks for having us. Yeah, come on out, have a beer. I apologize that our partners aren't here. They're on their way back from Carolina, but they'll be here tomorrow morning.
So do you want to just give us a little update of what you've done so far?
Oh, sure. Well, we did a lot of improvements. We want to do more. We're cleaning up the place. We're putting that grant money to good use. I do want to say that we enrolled all our employees in tips along with the owners. So we're getting that rolling.
Cool.
They've been, the work is there. The servers have been doing this quite a while. There's also a couple that already have tip certifications, but that's pretty important to us. And now we just hope to grow and be more part of the community than, it ever was. And it was for the past 15 years.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're-
Council? Any questions?
Nothing.
No. All right. So I will now open the public hearing.
There's no one
There's
present.
no one. I will now close the public hearing and look for a motion.
I want to do this one.
Okay.
I make a motion for the approval of the Beer Works liquor license transfer located at 121 East Midland Avenue, Woodland Park.
Second. Blow to the draw.
Okay, Bryant,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
DeZellem,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
and motion carries unanimously.
Congratulations.
All right. Yes, we look forward to all of the improvements. Let's see. 9H, Banana Belt Liquor License Transfer located at 300 East US 24, Woodland Park.
Okay, this is a transfer of a retail store liquor license, and the applicant is David Lee. The LLC has a current sales tax license and FEIN number. And again, a petition of needs and desires is not necessary for a transfer of a liquor store license. And possession of the property is documented by a lease expiring May 18th of 2046. Is the applicant here?
So I'm going to change it up just a little bit because you guys are new. So you want to tell us a little about yourselves and what you plan to do?
Absolutely. My name's David Lee.
And I'm Lauren Lee.
We have relocated from Thornton. Been there for the past 25 years. As growing up in Gunnison, wanted to get back to a tight-knit mountain community. So very excited to be here. It's a beautiful place. Was very excited once this business opportunity became available.
Great, thank you. Council, any questions?
No, welcome to the community.
Thank you much for having us.
All righty, thank you very much. Okay, for the 11th time, we'll now open the public hearing.
And there is no one present for the public hearing.
Right, I will now close the public hearing and I would look for a motion
I will make a motion.
to.
Just confused. I'd like to make a motion for the Banana Belt liquor license transfer located at 300 East US 24 Woodland Park.
Yeah, I get a second.
Second.
You got that one. Okay, Gear,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
DeZellem,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
motion carries unanimously.
Who seconded that one, Joe?
I don't know, it was like in stereo.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to 9I. Rhapsody Market and Bistro new liquor license located at 121 West Midland Avenue, Woodland Park. Monica.
Yes, so this is an application for a new beer and wine liquor license. The applicant is Rhapsody Market Bistro LLC, doing business as Rhapsody Peak Bistro and Market, located at 121 West Midland Avenue. The applicant is Diana Kane, and the LLC has a current sales tax license and FEIN number. The location is eligible to be licensed, and possession of the property is documented by a lease expiring May 17th, 2029. Is the applicant here? Okay, great.
And I just want to say, petition of needs and desires was completed with all signatures verified.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Council members, thanks for listening to my request. My name is Diana Kane, and I've been a resident of Woodland Park since September of 2024. Prior to that, I was living in Colorado Springs, and I lived in the west side, northwest side. 20 years ago, I moved to Colorado and was a business owner of a small boutique motel located on West Colorado. Renovated the space, improved the area, and had great reviews over the 2 years that I was a business owner. We couched that as an affordable boutique motel. And at the conclusion of that period of time, I returned to working in HR. My current role is with Government Industry Resource Group, and I'm a HR consultant and a management consultant. I'd like to get back into the business world with my own business because I have improved other people's businesses, my own 20 years ago, and I saw the corner with this building called Rhapsody. Didn't know what it was because I'm a new resident of Woodland Park. And I said, gosh, wouldn't that be a cool community forward-centered place? So that's what the concept is. We want to open a bistro. The hours would generally be between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Want to have my staff home by 7:30, and that'll be during the week. Considering live music on Fridays and Saturdays, we'll see, but that would be over with by 9. The food aspect will be paninis, flatbread, charcuterie, local farmers markets goods. We really want to follow the season, and also family-friendly aspects. So partnering with Josh and John's Ice Cream, perhaps. I'm looking at some other ice cream vendors as well. A local bakery for cookies, so I'm exploring that. Springside Cheese in Pueblo, that's a go. So we'll have those products in our paninis. And then the market aspect will be partnering with those that are in the farmers markets and other craftspeople around the community to feature their locally made goods, so that when you walk into the space, you feel a sense of place in Woodland Park. So you can see what our talented community can offer, and hopefully, walk away with a treasure if you're buying from the market. And whether that be somebody that's locally here as a resident buying a gift, maybe they're buying a gift for themselves, or if they're visiting, or maybe going next door or to some of the other vendors around town. My vision is a bit romantic. I would love to build community on the patio by having events such as painting classes that are Bob Ross inspired. I would like to have yoga, a T-Crass partnership for animal adoption events, which is a passion of mine. Partnering with food truck rotation and hopefully local historians. So that's just to name a few. The beer and wine liquor license that I'm requesting is aligned with similar spaces, what you would expect from a bistro, but it is really secondary to the food service. The welcome that everyone will get, because I want this to be sort of a cheers of Woodland Park, and build community that way. So I hope you'll consider adding the beer and wine as an enhancement, but not the focus. And that being said, I appreciate your time.
Thank you. That sounds amazing. Good luck.
Thank you.
Any comments? Nope. Okay, so I will now open the public hearing.
There's no one present to speak.
Okay, I will now close the public hearing, and may I get a motion? Please.
Yeah. I would love to make a motion to grant Rhapsody Market and Bistro a new liquor license.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay, Smith,
Yes.
DeZellem,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
and Gear.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Congratulations. Good luck.
We're excited to see that building.
Yes,
Gets
we
new
are.
life in it.
Yes, absolutely.
Good luck.
Oh, cool.
Is that what the construction equipment was? Okay, I was like, oh no, but fantastic. That sounds amazing.
All right, the last public hearing, 9J, which is not a liquor license of any kind.
Positive?
I'm gonna butcher this last name, so I'm gonna apologize now. Challoner Corner Subdivision, primary and final plat, a request by Richard and Mary, applicant and property owner, to plat 0.83 plus acres into 2 lots. The subject property is located north of Lake Avenue between North Baldwin Street and Rampart Range Road, and is a portion of Lot 1 of Section 19 T12S R68 west of the 6th PM, aka 405 North Baldwin Street, Woodland Park, in the neighborhood commercial zone. Karen.
Good evening. We're going to start this one with a commercial spot. We need planning commission members desperately, please. These poor folks were originally scheduled in front of planning commission back on April 23rd, encountered a continuance. Then we had a staff illness, so the next meeting got canceled. And then we didn't have a quorum again, so we had another continuance. So it was only last week when they were finally able to get their application taken care of. So I need to extend my apologies to the applicant, as well as any members of the community that had issues or concerns that they wanted to express. So just thank you for your patience. And we really would appreciate some volunteers to come join us on Planning Commission. So thank you. So with that, yes, the mayor announced this item here this evening, and it is a request to subdivide a small piece of land here in the older part of town. It's an interesting corner here at the intersection. It's north of Lake Avenue, east of Baldwin Street, and west of Rampart Range Road. So across the street to the east, you have schools. To the southeast, you've got the Aquatic Center. The parcel itself is 0.82 acres in size. It was originally shaped like a triangle that ended in a point at the southern tip. So part of that southern tip was conveyed to the city of Woodland Park back in the late 80s for right-of-way purposes for Lake Avenue. It's never been platted, but the property has been developed with 2 different dwelling units that are both located on the north end of this triangle. Each one does have its own separate water tap as well as other utility connections. So they're completely independent houses. And what those houses look like, the house on Baldwin Street was built in 1960. It's about 761 square feet per the county assessor. And then the house you see from Rampart Range Road was also built in 1960 and is considerably smaller at 432 square feet. As we noted in the posting for this, the property is zoned neighborhood commercial, as is the land to the north and also then off to the east. And then further to the north and west, you've got urban residential zone land. So that area to the north and west is largely developed with houses. Actually directly across to the east, these smaller lots that are zoned neighborhood commercial, those are actually residences as well. Those are some townhomes. And then it's down here in the dark blue where you've got the schools and the aquatic center. So when you're standing in Lake Avenue and you look to the north, you actually see this fence that Mr. Challoner installed a couple years ago to help mitigate headlight issues, from cars turning that would then shine up into the houses. So that's what you see of the property from that southern tip. When you're standing over on the Baldwin Street side, looking off to the northeast, you can see the brown house on the the Rampart Range side of things. So overall, the site is largely open grassland. There are a couple of trees. And it is a little on a little bit of a hill that you don't quite notice so much until you actually try to put a horizontal flat plane in there. And this is the view from Rampart Range Road, then looking towards the northwest. So here on the right side of the screen is that little brown house with the Rampart Range address. And then this here hidden in the trees about the middle of the slide is the house with the Baldwin Street address. So the proposed plat, again, is 0.82 acres. To divide this into 2 lots, each single family home would be on its own individual lot. Lot 1 on the Baldwin Street side would be about a quarter of an acre. And then lot 2 would be just over half of an acre. So that would take in the house on Rampart Range Road all the way down to the southern end of the property. As part of this subdivision, there is some additional land that would be dedicated to the city for right-of-way purposes. And that's here at the southern tip of the property, also where Lake Avenue sits. And in this particular slide, you can see that 68.37 square feet and how that trapezoid actually projects into where there's currently pavement. So it really is a very nice cleanup to get that completely resolved. So the right-of-way lines are clean in that area. As part of our process, this was of course referred to all our usual agencies and utility providers for review and comment. The comments we got back from CORE is they were asking for easements along the street sides of the property, across the northern edge of the property, actually on the piece to the north, they do have an electric line, but that's on a separate piece of land. It is not on the parcel associated with this property. So that's why that was not addressed. Woodland Park Utilities came back with a comment that they're in favor of this 2-lot subdivision since there's already 2 separate single homes, each with its own individual water tap. So water's not an issue in this situation. Way back on March 11th, this was reviewed by the Parks and Rec Advisory Board, and that group unanimously recommended the applicant pay park fees in lieu of a land dedication, and that dollar figure equated to $5,448. Since PRAB's review, the applicant has requested this fee be waived since these are existing homes that predate all of those fees and such, and no new homes are proposed. So when we take everybody's comments into consideration, especially with regard to easements, this diagram helps illustrate exactly where those easements are falling. The core easements are shown in red. And so there's a 15-foot easement along the Rampart Range Road side and the Lake Avenue side of the parcel. The easement on the west side of the property along North Baldwin Street will only be 10 feet in width. The reason for that narrower width of that core easement is due to the placement of the home. If we made it a 15-foot easement, it would actually interfere with the existing structure. CORE was comfortable with this reduction for those reasons. At the north end of the property, you've got a couple of small easements shown in blue. Those are for existing water infrastructure. The one on lot 1 is for a meter pit that actually provides service to the property to the north. And then the 10-foot water easement on lot 2 is actually for a water line that comes in through that corner of lot 2 that serves the house over here, the Baldwin Street house. And then across the southern part of proposed lot 1, there is a little sewer easement thrown in there. And that's because that's where the sewer line runs that serves this house on Rampart Range Road. So whenever you're coming back in to plat something later like this, it's definitely much harder, trickier to make sure all those utilities are accounted for and the appropriate easements are in place. And so that's what you're seeing here with this proposal. So in looking at the review criteria for both the preliminary plat and the final plat, it was found to comply with all those criteria. There were several criteria that were not applicable, and a detailed analysis around all that was in the staff report. And so the last criteria of concern really was that park capital fee or dedication of land. The conclusion was that this would comply in either case, if the applicant either pays those fees or if council chooses to actually waive those. So all of our notice requirements were met. And we did receive two separate comments. Both were from the property owner immediately to the north. Those were included in the packet. They were shared with the surveyor for this project, who, because I know there were some concerns expressed in those, and he has, to my knowledge, run down all of that and gotten all of that addressed, so that and he is here still here this evening to address any of the specific questions around that, but those should be resolved. And so Planning Commission heard this last Thursday, and at the conclusion of that public hearing, they had two motions and recommendations. The first one was they recommend that City Council waive the third condition, which is the condition that outlined the requirement of paying that $5,448 in park fees in lieu of a land dedication. And then the second motion and recommendation was that City Council approve the Challoner Corner subdivision preliminary and final plat with two conditions. And those are, number one, prior to conveyance of any proposed lot, the final plat must be recorded in the Teller County Clerk and Recorder's Office. And then the second condition being the applicant must resubmit the preliminary and final plat correcting any red line comments from Woodland Park Planning Department. So, any questions?
Yeah. Sorry, Catherine, go ahead before I guess I jump in.
Go ahead. I was going to just say, does council have any questions? So, yeah.
Yeah. I believe one of those properties, Karen, has a historic building on it. Was HPC consulted at all? Or would they be in this process normally?
Not normally, and neither building is a historic landmark.
Okay.
The one on Baldwin Street, people talk about it as having history as, and I think it was used for TB patients once upon a time.
Okay.
That's my understanding, but neither property or neither house has a historic designation.
Okay. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Any other comments for staff? Go ahead.
That property doesn't involve the original Woodland Park pool, does it?
Not to my knowledge. I believe that's the property to the north.
The north, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else for staff?
No.
All right. Thanks, Karen.
Sure.
Actually, sorry, one more question. And sorry, my apologies, Karen. Do we know if there's any plans to tear either one of those buildings down, or is this simply just to separate them?
To my knowledge, it's just to separate them. The landowner is here and he can address in more detail his plans for the project.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Karen.
Sure.
Did the applicant want to come up and say a few things or answer Jeff's question, I guess? Or any other questions council may have? Does council have any questions for the applicant, I should say?
Yeah, that was my only question.
Okay. All right. So if there are no other questions, then
I would like to know from the property owner, though, if they intend to tear either one of those structures down.
Oh, you can come up to the podium. Yes, please. And
my name is Richard Challoner. I'm the owner of the property that has put this application forth. The question to me is whether there's any intention of tearing down either of those buildings. The answer is no. The division is supposed to separate a lot to be included with each of those two houses, so that each house will have its own property.
Gotcha.
As is, no proposed constructions and no proposed demolitions.
No, thank you so much for answering my question. I appreciate it.
Okay.
So if the mayor will allow, I'd like to pile on to that my understanding is that Mr. Challoner does intend to sell the property. And like in any situation here in Woodland Park, when the property conveys, you have no way of knowing what a future landowner's intentions are for the property. So that may change over
Yeah.
time.
No, I totally understand.
So basically dividing this makes it simpler to sell either lot, would be my guess.
It would, the idea is to sell one of the house, but to maintain the other one. Always indefinitely.
You can do whatever you'd like with it. That's your legal right.
Except turning it into a data center.
But thank you very much.
Call back.
All right, if there's no other questions of the applicant, I will now open the public hearing. Is there anybody signed up?
I don't know if anyone signed up unless there's someone in the audience that, no, doesn't look like it.
I don't think so. All right, I will now close the public hearing, and if there are no further questions, I would ask for a motion.
Anyone? I will make a motion to approve the Challoner Corner subdivision preliminary and final plot with the conditions imposed and with waiving condition number 3 for the parks fee.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Okay, DeZellem,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Congratulations. All right, on to 10A, new business. So historically, we cancel the July 4th week meeting. Does anybody have any issue doing that?
Yes.
Does anybody have a real issue doing that?
Absolutely not.
Okay, and I'm assuming staff has no issue or has anything that we need to address. Okay, all right, so then may I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to cancel the, see, that would be the July 1st, second council meeting.
Right.
Second.
Second. Oh. I'll let you have that one, Jeff.
Okay.
All right.
Appreciate you, Steph.
Okay, so next will be Nakai,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
DeZellem.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, on to reports. I actually get to have a mayor's report, apparently. So, community events, June 18th through July 16th. On Saturday, July 4th, from 8 to 3 p.m., come to Memorial Park to enjoy an old-fashioned 4th of July celebration. This family-friendly event will have a pie eating contest, there's a typo, watermelon eating contest, line dancing, and much more. Be sure to stick around for the Symphony Above the Clouds, a free concert performed by the Woodland Park Wind Symphony in the Memorial Park starting at 5:30. This annual musical program is back with patriotic music and culminating with fireworks, weather depending. Fireworks will be loaded from the Woodland Park High School grounds and begin just after sunset. Again, weather and wind and burn ban, depending, I'm assuming. But anyway, friendly reminder, City Hall will be closed Friday, July 3rd in observation of Independence Day. Great. Next, PPACG. June is World Elder Abuse Awareness Month. PPACG is required to complete a 4-year plan to guide their areas of focus and funding recommendations. They are starting their new 4-year plan in 2026. Input from the public is key and helps to define the priorities for senior services in our area for the future. PPACG is holding a session for public input on July 9th at the Little Chapel in Divide from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. My typo. The Aspen Mind Center and Teller Senior Center will be inviting senior clients to attend. Please attend if you're interested. I'm going to do a plug like Karen did. City Council is still taking applications to fill a vacant county council seat for the remainder of the term ending April 2028. Applications will be accepted through July 6th, 2026, and interviews will take place at the July 16th City Council meeting Letters of interest must be submitted to Monica by 5 p.m. July 6th. Lastly, as I said earlier, I would like to see if we can get consensus to direct staff to set up a work session for us to discuss the noise and safety issues with our future special events and temporary use permits.
Sure. I'm in. It's worth the discussion.
Jeff? Are you-
Absolutely doodly.
Okay, all right. And that is all I have. Seth?
All right, I will try and make this quicker than I normally am. It's been a long meeting, or longer than we've been having. Youth Advisory Council, the next meeting is July 8th at 5 p.m. The Woodland Park Beautiful, their next meeting is July 9th at 5 p.m. Again, we are desperately seeking members for Keep Woodland Park Beautiful. We do a lot of impactful and highly visible community projects, and we'd love for you to be a part of it if that interests you. Additionally, Keep Woodland Park Beautiful is spearheading a new initiative called the Community Canvas Project. The application officially goes live tomorrow morning, but we are looking to support community art by transforming the bear-proof trash receptacles in Memorial Park into community art projects. So we are seeking local artists to submit designs and apply for being able to paint one of these trash cans in Memorial Park. It'll be highly visible, great chance to add to your portfolio. We are looking for applicants aged 10 years and up, and we're just asking you complete the application, submit a rendering or samples of the artwork, and have that all into us by July 31st so we can start selecting at our next meeting. Artists will receive a $150 stipend along with oil and acrylic paint supplies. So we got you covered. You can earn a little money and show off what you can do in our community and create a lasting impact. So if you're interested, you can apply through the city website. Click on the boards and committees, click on Keep Woodland Park Beautiful Committee, and then find that Community Canvas project link.
Thank you, Seth. Steve?
Well,
You
before I
skipped
do
me.
forget, next Tuesday, the
Get you, Jeff.
23rd, Park and Rec is doing a major cleanup out at Meadowwood Park. They're asking for volunteers to come out, especially the Park and Rec groups that play volleyball or football, flag football, soccer, softball, hockey, baseball, high school athletics, to come out and spend the day or a couple of hours to help clean up. All they need to do is bring some gloves.
Great. Anything?
It'd be greatly appreciated to help clean it up.
Great. Jeff, I forgot you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Although I will say it is pretty neat to be the eye in the sky. The only thing I had is, since we did cancel our July 2nd meeting, we will not meet again until after our country turns 250 years old. So I just want to give a shout out to the United States of America and this experiment we call democracy, making it 250 years. So I realize that the state's centennial, or whatever they call it, for 150 is August 1st. But anyways, I just wanted to give a shout out to this country. So that is all I had this week.
Great. Thanks, Jeff. Dawn?
The only thing I have is the community concert started last Wednesday night. It was fairly well attended, really good band, the UPass Playboys. And now I'm going to put a shameless plug in for some friends of mine who are playing this coming Wednesday night. And that's the Lethal Lisa McCall band. They play blues and a lot of original stuff that they write. Excellent band. And I probably won't be there, but I'd like to see everybody in the community show up for it. Support the concerts this summer in the park. The bar is open, so come and have fun.
Thank you. Smitty, did you forget something?
Yeah. Also, to add to Parks and Recs, the golf course We had 162 golfers go through Saturday.
Wow,
Wow.
that's awesome.
Yeah, 162. And like we talked at Prab last time, spoke with Darren, you know, if we're getting this busy, it's 60% operational. Can you imagine how cranely insane it will be at 100%? We're going to be on the map.
Great, awesome. Isn't that the point, right?
PGA.
All right, city attorney. No report?
That's the first.
Come on, Jeff. You got to have a good joke. Come on. Something.
None I'm willing to repeat.
City manager?
Thank you. We are still intending to attempt to have fireworks. We've been working closely with the fire chief. We are taking additional measures to mitigate the property and possibly take other additional measures to make sure that it's safe to launch the fireworks. But regardless of whether the fire ban is in place or not, the city is working with the fire chief to make sure that we can safely do it.
Great.
So if we can, we will. It's weather dependent.
Awesome. That's great.
Of course. The other thing I'll say is a big shout out to Mindful Moose and all the volunteers that helped plant flowers this week. They do look a lot better than they have in years past, so very happy about it.
Yeah, I'll just tag on there. We had a chance to plant flowers, and the people from Mindful Moose did a great job getting the flowers, doing the layouts, just making sure everything was prepared. They were a great partner.
Yeah, it's awesome. And facility staff did an amazing job as well. They really helped organize everything. So just very appreciative and looking forward to summer.
Great. Monica, do you have anything? Nope. And if there's nothing else, this meeting is adjourned.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Jeff.